My wife asked for an open relationship. Now she regrets it, but I don't care anymore. I'm not even sure why I'm writing this. Maybe because I've been holding it in for too long. Maybe because I need to put it into words to convince myself that I'm not crazy for feeling the way I do. I'm 31, a pharmacist. My wife Valentina is 30 and works in hospital administration. We've basically been together my entire adult life. I met her when I was 16. She was my first kiss, my first love, my first everything. People used to joke that we were like an old married couple even back then. She was the extrovert, the social one, the one who could walk into a room and know everyone by the end of the night. I was the shy, nerdy kid who got buried in textbooks. Somehow, we balanced each other out perfectly. Through pharmacy school, through my sleepless nights studying, through the stress and endless exams, she was there. She cheered me on. She believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. And I stood by her while she built her career in hospital administration. We were the team. Everyone in our families and friend groups thought we were the golden couple. At 26, when my career finally stabilized, we moved in together. At 28, we got married. It felt like the most natural step in the world. There was never a doubt in my mind. I thought, this is it. This is my partner for life. I wasn't scared of missing out on anything because I truly believed I'd already found the one. But around a year and a half ago, something changed. Not in a dramatic way. No screaming matches, no sudden blow-ups. Just little things. She got quieter around me. She seemed distracted. She'd be scrolling on her phone while I was talking, and I'd have to repeat myself. When I asked what was up, she said it was just work stress. Hospitals are chaotic, and her department had been understaffed. I accepted that explanation. I wanted to believe her. Then, 6 months ago, she dropped a bomb. She asked me what I thought about open relationships. I can still remember how surreal it felt. We were just sitting there in the living room eating takeout, and she casually asked, "Hey, what do you think about open marriages?" I actually laughed, thinking it was some weird joke, but she was serious. I told her straight away that I was against it, that marriage to me is about choosing one person and sticking with them, that if you need freedom to sleep around, why even get married in the first place? She said she was just curious, that she'd read about it online, and that her colleague Laura has an open marriage, and it works for them. I shrugged it off and thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. A few weeks later, during dinner, she brought it up again. She started talking about Laura's amazing marriage like it was a sales pitch. Then she just said it. She was curious, she wanted to try it, and she asked if I'd consider it. She framed it like it would strengthen us, like somehow letting other people into our bed would make us closer. I should have walked away, right there, but instead, I told her I'd think about it. Inside, though, something in me cracked. That was the moment I knew our marriage wasn't the fairy tale I thought it was. 2 days later, I told her, fine, let's do it. Not because I wanted to, but because I realized I didn't really have a choice anymore. She wanted it, and if I said no, she'd probably go behind my back anyway. So I said yes, just to see what would happen. I asked her point blank if she already had someone lined up. She hesitated for about 2 seconds, then admitted yes. A 45-year-old doctor at her hospital. Charlie. That name is burned into my brain now. I didn't even argue. I just nodded and told her I'd be moving into the guest room. She hated that. She tried to talk me out of it, said it would make things weird. But I told her flat out, if she gets her freedom, I get mine. End of discussion. So I turned the guest room into a man cave, bought a massive TV, set up my PS5, stocked the shelves with whiskey. I started inviting my buddy Craig over all the time. We'd watch games, get drunk, go out to bars and clubs. For the first time in years, I wasn't the boring husband. And yeah, I hooked up. Nothing serious, just a couple one-night stands here and there. I figured if this is my life now, I might as well enjoy it. The irony? Valentina couldn't stand it. She had her fling with Charlie, always at his place, and she expected me to sit at home twiddling my thumbs. Instead, I went out and lived my life. Suddenly, she was grilling me with questions. Who was I with? What did I do? Did I sleep with her? She hated my vague answers. I just smirk and say, "Met some fun ladies." Nothing serious. Watching her squirm almost became entertaining. But the truth is, things at home got cold, ice cold. We stopped being husband and wife. She tries to act like everything is normal, cooking dinner, suggesting movie nights, even reaching for my hand sometimes, but it feels hollow. She's a roommate now, a stranger I share bills with. A few weeks ago, she finally admitted it. The open relationship wasn't what she thought it would be. She said it made her realize she just wanted me, that she missed what we had, that she wants to close things again. I looked her straight in the eye and told her no. Too late. You can't unring that bell. She wanted adventure, she got it. She wanted Charlie the doctor, she got him. Now she wants to rewind and pretend none of this happened? Sorry, but I can't. Something broke in me the moment she asked for this, and it's never coming back. She cried. She begged. She even tried to spin it like she did this for us, which almost made me laugh. She doesn't want a divorce, though. She keeps saying we can work through it. But here's the thing. I don't care anymore. I'm not angry. I'm not even jealous. I just feel nothing. And that's the scariest part. For 15 years, this woman was my everything. My first love, my best friend, my wife. And now, when I look at her, I feel like I'm looking at a stranger who happened to share half my life. I don't even recognize her anymore. I don't know what to do. Part of me thinks I should just file for divorce and move on. Another part of me doesn't care enough to take the first step, like I'm just waiting for her to finally admit what she did destroyed us. What I do know is this: I'll never see marriage the same way again. Comments. Comment 1. Respect for how you handled it. Turning the guest room into a man cave and living your life was the best power move. But you deserve more than roommates and cold dinners. Divorce her and keep the PS5. Comment 2. Marriage vows mean something. She broke them the second she entertained the thought of Charlie. There's no going back, no matter what she says. You're right. Something broke, and it won't heal. Time to close the chapter. Comment 3. Dude, she had someone lined up before you even agreed. That wasn't an open relationship. That was her cheating with extra steps. You already know it's over. Don't waste years being her roommate. File the divorce papers and start healing. Update. It's been about a year since I first posted about my wife, Valentina, asking for an open relationship and everything falling apart after that. I wanted to give an update because, honestly, the advice I got back then probably saved me. We are now officially divorced. The papers were finalized 2 months ago. Looking back, I realize if I had stayed in that limbo, half roommates, half strangers, it would have destroyed me mentally. I was numb back then, but I can see now that numbness was my brain protecting me. Staying in that environment longer would have broken me down completely. Valentina eventually came to terms with what she did. She admitted she made a mistake, that chasing that adventure wasn't worth what she lost. For a while, she didn't want to let go, but in the end, she accepted the divorce. Surprisingly, we're still friends. I don't hate her. I don't resent her anymore. I think she'll carry her own regrets for a long time. But that's her burden, not mine. We check in on each other once in a while, but nothing more than that. Just friends, and that's how it will stay. As for me, I'm doing better and better as time moves on. The first few months after she left were rough. The silence in the apartment, the routines we used to share suddenly gone, but slowly, I built my own life. I threw myself into my career, and I've made huge strides professionally in the last year. I've reconnected with old friends, traveled a little, and honestly just enjoyed being able to live without walking on eggshells. And the biggest thing, I have no plans to ever get married again. Maybe I'll date casually someday, maybe I won't. But marriage, that chapter of my life is closed. I don't see the point anymore. I gave everything once, and I learned how quickly it can be thrown away. I'm not bitter. I'm just free, and that's more than I could have imagined a year ago. Thanks to everyone who told me to value myself, to not settle for being a roommate in my own marriage. You were right.
Valentina's response. I've seen what Alex wrote about our marriage, and I want to respond. not to defend myself, but to acknowledge the truth in what he shared and to add my own perspective. First, Alex is right. I was the one who broke us. For so many years, we were inseparable, best friends, partners, lovers. We grew up together, built a life together, and I truly believed we were unbreakable. But I let doubt and curiosity creep in. I convinced myself that maybe we had settled down too soon, that maybe I was missing out on something in life. Instead of being grateful for what we had, I let myself get influenced by others and by my own restless thoughts. When I brought up the idea of an open relationship, I told myself it was just a conversation. In reality, I had already been thinking about someone else. That truth still makes me sick to admit. I framed it like it could make us stronger, but deep down, I knew it was selfish. I can see now that I wanted the thrill without realizing how destructive it would be. Alex handled it with more dignity than I deserved. He didn't yell or throw things. He just detached. He moved into the guest room, built his own life, and quietly showed me that once trust is broken, there's no going back. I'll never forget the emptiness in his eyes when I admitted I had someone lined up. That image will haunt me forever. I thought I wanted adventure. Instead, I realized what I really wanted was Alex, the man who had stood by me for half my life. But by then it was too late. He was right. You can't unring that bell. I asked to close the marriage, I begged to go back, but he couldn't. And in the end, I had to accept that. We divorced 2 months ago. I signed the papers knowing it was the consequence of my actions. And though it hurts more than I can describe, I don't blame him. He gave me years of love, loyalty, and partnership, and I threw it away. I will always see Alex as the love of my life. I ruined that love, and forgiving myself won't be easy. But I'm glad we're still friends. I'm glad he's moving forward, and I will never cross the boundaries he set. Right now, I'm not looking for another relationship. I don't deserve one yet. I need to focus on myself, on why I did what I did, and on becoming someone who would never repeat that mistake. My career is my main focus, and beyond that, just rebuilding myself. I'll always carry the regret of losing Alex, but I accept that this is my reality, and all I can do now is move forward.